Hello, we are going to go on to creating an artist copy on the Zeren Zeller's work. I've put two pictures up there for you. You may see that they both have red squares around them. This is so you have to do part of the image, not all of it, because if you tried to do the whole image, it would take you quite a long time. So I've picked two areas that I quite like in the images. You can pick an area that you would like to do, that's totally up to you, but I just put the red box around it so you can see that you can do part of the image and not all of it. So I've drawn myself quite a large box there on my piece of paper. I've got my pencil ready, I've got a rubber and a sharpener, and I seem to have misplaced my ruler, but I'm not sure we're going to need it because I'm going to do it freehand, so that doesn't matter too much. So I've drawn a fairly big box. Again, like I said to you before, depending on where you've put your title, your box may be down the middle, or it might be at the side, or wherever you decide to put it. So I'm going to go from the second picture down. So obviously you'll be able to see this when you open it on your PowerPoint, and it's the pictures of the fish. And I'm actually going to do the area that is cropped because I think it's better for you to see the one that I'm doing. So I'm going to start. I've got a very, very sharp pencil, remember, because I need to sketch. I'm going to start off with the fish, and you'll be able to see what sort of fish I'm doing. I'm not necessarily measuring it. I can measure it with my pencil on the screen, but obviously the screen is a lot smaller than my square on here. So I'm just going to have a look at the fish, and there's a little bit of coral, and kind of double check that it's the right size when I've done it. So I know that the fish kind of comes about halfway in the box. So I'm going to kind of put a halfway marker there. It shouldn't go over that halfway mark. So I'm going to start lightly drawing my fish shape. And again, it's not going to be perfect the first time. Because of the part that I'm doing, the tail is cropped off, so it's literally only the body of the fish. So that's his mouth area is kind of very pointy, which is not actually that pointy, so I'm going to round that off a bit. There we go. So I'm kind of happy with that. It has a line down here. Obviously at the moment all we're doing is kind of mapping in the outlines. We're not adding any colour or anything like that just yet. It has like a small triangle inside of it like this, because we will be adding colour to it, and then it's got a little eye here. So that's the kind of shape of the fish there done. There's another fish that comes in behind it like here. So I'm going to draw that one in. It kind of goes actually a bit higher than that. So you can kind of see the different parts in correlation to one another. So this one, it kind of goes just underneath the mouth there, and then goes up into that sort of, there we go. And as you can see, I'm rubbing it out and doing it again, like, because you're going to have to, you're not going to get it right the first time. And then it's got like an eye there. So that at the moment it does look a bit strange. I might change that in a minute. Then you've got a piece of coral coming out of the head here. So you can kind of see on the image that I'm looking at, and you'll be able to see it once you have a look, once I've put it on the PowerPoint, sorry, that the coral kind of comes in line with the eye, and it goes all the way up to the top of my square and the square on here. So it's about that thick. And don't worry if it's not exact, because we're doing an artist copy. You're trying to copy it, but if it's not exact, don't worry about it too much, because we're not tracing it either, because we don't learn anything from tracing. So that goes down to about here, this coral, and then you've got the bit that goes off up there and carries on up out of the page, and then that's a bit too big for that, so I'm just going to rub that out. And again, if you do it light pressure, you can rub it out whenever you need to. So I'm going to do it up there, and then it kind of has a little fork that comes off up here, and then it goes back down and joins this bit. So that's my coral. We also have these funny looking shapes in the corner that will have colour on them eventually, but they kind of look like this sort of shape. roughly, like that. And then you've got one that goes kind of wiggly through here and goes down and up here, and then joins up here, and then you've got loads of tiny little wiggly ones that go down there past the coral. This one I'm not too happy with, because when I have a look at it on here, it kind of goes off of the page, so I think I need to move it up slightly. This one down here has got like a double line, so when I add the colour I can put it inside the line. I'm going to add myself a double line. There we go. So this one I'm going to try and do again, because the bit up here goes up and off the page slightly, and then goes off like that, and then comes down like this. There you go. I'm a bit more happy with that now. Okay, so we've even got like a big gap here, but you'd think it's quite a lot bigger than the one on the screen, so I won't worry about it too much. Then we've got two little fish that are here, and then one fish at the bottom here that we need to join in. So this fish is quite large, and its nose kind of ends here. Well, fishes don't really have noses, do they? Who knows? Do they have noses? I don't think they do. And it goes down there, and then you've got the other really small one that kind of goes under here like this. And this one has a huge eye. And then like the pupil that goes inside of it. And this one you can slightly see a triangular fin, so I'm going to put that in. And then that one again has got quite a big eye. And then a small bit in the middle. So they're my two fishes that are done. And then you have a slight fish down the bottom here that you can kind of see. It goes kind of halfway up to here, so its head should start roughly there. So I'm going to put the point bit here, and remember it kind of goes off of the page, so I'm literally drawing just the top half of its body. So like that, and then it goes down, and then you get its fin that goes up like that. Its fin's actually a bit bigger than that, so we'll do that again. There we go, and you can see slightly part of its nose goes up there, and then you've got its eye, and you've got some of its colours of its patterns going on down there. There we go, and then the rest of it over here, it's got slight, I can see slight circles there, and that's about it. The rest of it, obviously the background I will colour in, but this is the main shape that I'm happy with. This bit I'm just going to move over slightly because there's a massive gap there, which there actually isn't on the image. So I'm just going to move that over slightly, and I can actually see, if I look really close, there's like a little bit that goes up here as well. If I look really closely, because it's actually quite hard to see. There we go. So get your outline done. Draw yourself a small box. It doesn't have to be huge. Pick a bit on the images. You can use the ones that I have already done. That's totally up to you, the ones that I've picked. The top one's a little bit harder, so if you want to challenge yourself, go ahead. The bottom one's a bit more simpler. It's got simpler shapes into it, but totally up to you. If you want to pick a different part of the image to do, again, that's totally up to you. I do not mind, but make sure you pick part of the image and not all of it. So give this a go so you have your square and you have your outline, and then we will move on to doing the coloured part.